So what are the three things that you need when you first move on to your off-grid property? Hey everyone, welcome to the Windwalker Homestead channel. In this episode of The Drive Home, we're going to answer that question. And actually, I'm going to add one more onto that. So that'll be four things. So, the question that was asked is, what three things do you think you need when you first get onto your property? Assuming that it's bare land, there's nothing there. So, what I'm going to say is, you're going to look at it as a survival situation. Same thing that you're going to need, if you're out in the wilderness or something like that, it's going to be the same thing that you need on your property. You're going to need food, water, and shelter. Now, unless you're, have extenuating circumstances, you can always hop in your car and get food and water. So those would be number 2 and 3 on your priority list. So we'll go with number 1, which is shelter. The easiest and probably the most temporary would be a simple tent. And it can be, just a tent that you can take camping, just some kind of shelter like that, or they make what's called a wall tent, which is more like a small cabin. I think they also call them cabin tents. Yurts are very popular. They actually last quite a few years if they're taken care of. People have insulated them, put in real windows, that kind of stuff. Do like what we did is we just had a little pickup camper. We took the pickup camper, we were staying in it for a while in the back of our truck, and we got to the property and we put it down on some cinder blocks, and that was home. We currently are living in a travel trailer. We upgraded shortly after we got there, but there's a couple options there. Travel trailer, camper, motor home. Gaining in popularity are little sheds, like pre-built sheds that you can get at Home Depot, Lowe's, or there's a couple other places. A company that comes to mind is like Old Hickory Sheds. People like to get those and kind of convert them, make them livable, put electricity in them, that kind of stuff. Then of course, you got your typical cabin or a house. But just to start out with, you're probably going to be looking at a tent, or a travel trailer, camper, or something like that. Something that'll keep the weather off you, keep you warm. And the second thing would be a water source, because they say you can live, was it a week without water, a month without food. I suppose depending on your metabolism, but definitely a priority is water. We'll put that at number 2. We haul our water. And I imagine a lot of you would be doing that first anyways. So just regular water jugs, you can either get them from Walmart, the pre-filled 5-gallon or pre-filled 1-gallon ones. We have 7-gallon jugs that we fill a 275-gallon tank that we have buried. Hopefully we'll get it to stay thawed this winter. Last winter we just did without because we knew it was going to freeze in the first place. It wasn't buried. So there's that. Of course, if you have the money, you can drill your own well, rainwater collection, that kind of stuff. Of course, with rainwater collection, we have to filter, purify in order for to drink it. And then finally, food, which that's almost as easy as getting your water. Obviously, you're going to haul your own food. You're going to go to the store, or you're going to hunt. Growing a garden, you can do that, of course. Mainly, we're talking about food storage, because if you're off-grid, if you don't go into town every day already, you're not really going to want to go into town every day just for food. So I'm talking, like a cooler, dry ice, lasts quite a few days. Put dry ice in there to keep everything nice and cold. Regular ice that lasts a day or two depending on the quality of cooler. Right now we have solar power, so we have a freezer for long-term storage, but before that we have a propane fridge as well. So there's our food storage right there. And then the fourth one I'm going to add, especially if you have in a place that has 4 seasons, where it gets below 60 degrees or whatever cold temperature you can typically stand. That's heat. Air conditioning, you can figure something out. A lot of cars, I think 99% of them that are made that are still on the road right now have air conditioning in them. You can cool off in there. Go into the shade, something like that. You can find some way to help keep you cool. But if you're in a place that, like I said, has 4 seasons, you're going to have to find a way to get heat to keep warm. And you can do propane, you can do a wood stove. For our first couple years in the little pickup camper, we had a little buddy heater, which I might go ahead and link that down in the description, depending on how much editing I want to do and stuff like that for this video. But Mr. Heater, it's called Little Buddy Heater. Takes little green propane canisters, little cans. You go on there, and that's what we used for the first couple years. And then after we got the property, moved into the travel trailer. We already had solar, so we just ran the furnace. Wouldn't mind getting a little wood stove, so we can use wood for heating if we need to. Let's see here, what are other sources? Pellet stove. Of course, you need electricity for pellet stove. But I suppose those are the two most common ways to keep yourself warm during the winter, is a wood stove and propane stove. So those are the 4 things that I believe that you need when you get started on your off-grid property. And if you have any questions, go ahead and put it down in the comments section. I'll answer them as best I can and possibly even make a video out of them. So until next time, keep kicking up dust.